Mr. President, I would like first to underline the urgent need for resumption of the political process in Yemen. Poland is deeply convinced that the primary responsibility of this Council is to pave the way for a peaceful solution of the conflict. Let me echo what has been said by many speakers. Only a genuine, inclusive, intra-Yemeni political process can bring a long-standing peace in Yemen and put an end to the tremendous suffering of civilians who continue to bear the brunt of the ongoing hostilities. We perceive the assumption of the office by Mr. Griffiths as a unique opportunity to resume peace negotiations, which should be carried out with a full participation of all relevant parties and stakeholders, as well as all groups of Yemeni society, including women and youth. We encourage regional actors with influence on the parties to the conflict to convince them to engage constructively with Mr. Griffiths and his office and to participate in the UN-led process in good faith and without preconditions. Mr. President, let me turn to the humanitarian situation. I would like to express Poland's highest appreciation for the governments of Sweden and Switzerland, who together with the United Nations hosted the high-level pledging event for Yemen earlier this month. As other members of the Council, we welcome the outcome of this event, which confirmed the commitment of the international community to alleviate the suffering of the Yemeni people. Mr. President, as we have heard from Mr. Mark Lowcock, despite some positive developments, the humanitarian situation in Yemen remains desperate. The widespread fighting, severe economic decline, and food insecurity continue to take an enormous toll on population. We believe that to improve the situation of civilians, it is essential to ensure the public sector salaries to be paid across Yemen in order to enable the resumption of essential public services, including healthcare and education. Sustained deliveries of humanitarian and commercial goods, including food, fuel, and medical imports, must be guaranteed. Therefore, we urge all parties to the conflict to comply fully with the provisions of the Security Council Presidential Statement adopted by the Council on March 15, and to ensure that all Yemen's ports remain open and fully functional. We also urge the parties to facilitate access for humanitarian operations across the whole Yemeni territory. Mr. President, with regard to the ongoing hostilities in Yemen, we once again call upon the parties to refrain from taking actions that might lead to the escalation of fighting. Poland strongly condemns all indiscriminate attacks, including airstrikes, which have a disastrous impact on civilians in Yemen. We condemn equally strongly ballistic missiles attacks carried out by the Houthis against Saudi Arabia. All parties are obliged under the international humanitarian law to ensure the protection of civilians and humanitarian infrastructure. We also call upon all sides to fully cooperate with the group of international and regional eminent experts on Yemen to allow it a comprehensive examination of all alleged human rights violations and abuses. Finally, we reiterate the call for cessation of hostilities to be introduced in Yemen. Thank you, Mr. President.